Yan, magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Ito yung Senate session nila kahapon at meron na naman taon-taon yung yung Senate session ni Senator Coco Pimentel, yan yung kanyang kontrasona. O dito unang-una niyang ang unang-una niyang tinalakay dito ay yung patungkol dito sa nangyaring pagbabaha, oo, dito sa Metro Manila at karatig bayan ng Metro Manila. Patungkol dito sa okey na raw sana yung SONA, eh. Oh, yung kanya sanang kontrasona, napalitan ng, yung kontra sana niya ay napalitan ng kontrasona. Oh, kasi pinuri niya na sana, ang ganda ng mga sinabi ni BBM do'n sa kanyang SONA, eh. Ang problema, na-fact check siya ni Karina. Oh, 'yun, yung kanyang 5,500 na flood control project na sinasabing natapos na ay, palpak. Oh, kaya ito ang kanyang kontransona, panoorin natin.
This week, Mr. President. Ito po ang akin namang personal na karanasan. Noong panahon ni Ondoy sa taong 2009, ako ay lumusong sa tubig baha doon sa bahay namin sa Marikina. Pansinin natin yung mga taon, 2009. Noong 2020, dahil naman kay Ulysses, kinailangan naman natin sumaklolo sa mga mahal sa buhay sa dalawang lugar sa Marikina. Noong nakalipas na Miyerkules, July 24, 2024, lubog na naman sa matinding baha ang Marikina, Metro Manila, Bulacan, Pampanga at marami pa pong ibang mga lugar. Nung nangyari ang Ondoy, ang sabi sa akin, huwag kang mag-alala kasi once in a lifetime lang yung pangyayaring yan. Mukhang yung once in a lifetime na pangyayari ay nagiging once in 10 years, ay naging once in 10 years at ngayon ay once in 5 years na. Sana nga umabot sa 5 years kasi 4 years pa lang pala ang pagitan nila Ulysses at Karina. We therefore have no choice but to ask hard questions for and on behalf of the Filipino people. According to the President Inisona, ngayon sa pagpihit ng panahon, ang hagupit ng La Nina at mga matinding pag-ulan naman ang ating binabantayan at pinaghahandaan. Mahigit 5,500 flood control projects ang natapos na at marami pang iba ang kasalukuyang ginagawa sa buong bansa. According to a budget expert who has analyzed our annual budget laws, we have allocated at least 1.14 trillion pesos for flood control and flood management projects from 2015 to 2024. That figure is taken just from analyzing the budget of the DPWH. That's close to 1/3 of the DPWH budget, and it goes to flood control. 557 billion pesos of this 1.14 trillion pesos allocated for fighting floods has been allocated under this administration. So in 2022, 129 billion. In 2023, 183 billion. In 2024, 245 billion pesos. So, I will have to ask this question. At hindi ko gagamitin yung millennial way of asking this. Ayusin ko pagtanong dito. Ano ang nangyari?
Ano nangyari?
Hindi
Ano
pwedeng
nangyari?
ipasa ang blame sa high tide. Kasi wala namang flood control project na pang low tide lamang. Hindi rin pwedeng ipasa ang blame sa rumaragasang tubig kasi hindi ba kasama na yan sa definition ng flood? In Metro Manila alone, the impact of poor flood management is felt. This makes us ask what exactly the Metro Manila Development Authority is doing with taxpayer money for flood control. In 2022, it was 1.4 billion pesos. In 2023, 351 million pesos. In 2024, 455 million pesos. Let us also not use climate change as the scapegoat. If the theory is correct, then our climate has been changing due to human behavior since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution in the 1700s. So meron kami factual dispute ni Senator Joel Villanueva kasi sabi niya sa panahon pa ni Limahong eh. We have a difference of 300 years, Mr. President. What I instead propose is for us to look at the possibility of character change. On the part of the people, a very simple request. Huwag magtapon ng basura kung saan-saan. Lagyan natin ng lohika at sistema ang pagtapon natin ng basura. On the part of contractors and suppliers of government contracts, as well as the owners of construction companies, huwag na po tayong pumasok sa politika para maiwasan natin ang conflict of interest. Tapos, gawin naman natin maayos ang trabaho at gawing reasonable ang kita. On the part of politicians, doon sa mga merong excess investable funds, huwag na po tayong pumasok sa negosyo ng kontraktor or supplier ng gobyerno para maiwasan din ang conflict of interest. Yung investable funds ninyo ay pakilagay na lang sa manufacturing because the history of the human race has proven that manufacturing has the biggest impact on the direction of the economy because it is the main source of jobs, innovation, and increases in productivity. Help make the Philippines be a manufacturing power. But right now, the Filipino people are asking questions and are entitled to accurate answers. I urge the President to direct the DBM, DPWH, and other involved agencies to post online the names of the contractors of government flood control and management projects, as well as the location, amount, and status of these projects. And let us pierce the veil of corporate identity by letting the people know who are the individuals, the human beings who have bagged these lucrative flood control projects. Why do I say lucrative? Because according to my good friend, Senator Joel Villanueva, who has studied the subject matter of floods for years already, the budget for flood control amounts to more than 1 billion pesos per day. And if we put the rate of profit of these contractors at a modest 10%, then some lucky person or groups of persons or some well-connected syndicate of people, when I use the word syndicate, I mean into groups of people, they are earning at least 100 million pesos a day in the name of flood control at the expense of the Filipino people. Mabuti pinasingit ko si Senator Joel Villanueva sa speech niya. At nadagdagan pa tayo ng idea rito. Yung feasibility studies pala. Billions ang feasibility studies. Yung flood control projects in place right now also spent for feasibility studies. So they are not feasible, Mr. President. I'm afraid there's no friendly way to say this, Mr. President. The people deserve accountability. We therefore need to revisit our country's flood control and infrastructure program. And I wish our Chairman, Senator Bong Revilla, all the best on Thursday. On Thursday, when he conducts his hearing, Mr. President. And we need to review too the entire budget process where these are provided for. So I welcome the manifestation of Senator Bato de la Rosa earlier, that he will really take an active role in examining the proposed 2025 budget, Mr. President. On the national budget, the President said, we look to the cooperation of our colleagues in the legislature, not only that our proposed national budget be approved in your usual timely manner, but that it be adhered to as closely as possible. That phrase, pansinin niyo yung phrase, that it be adhered to as closely as possible, to my mind appears to be a very polite request from the President for Congress to respect the constitutional mandate not to exceed the appropriations proposed by the President, including the matter of unprogrammed appropriations. Kung dito kayo sa Senado, ayaw nyo makinig sa minority, makinig naman kayo sa Presidente. The constitutional mandate is simple enough. The Congress may not increase the appropriations recommended by the President for the operation of the government as specified in the budget. Doon sa mga gustong silipin sa nito, Section 25, Article 6 of our Constitution. Napakaraming sinabi ng Pangulo sa SONA tungkol sa kalusugan. Nararapat lang ito kasi ang problema sa kalusugan ng tao ang isa sa mga
Ayan ayan ang ano sa budget na nawawala dyan sa flood control. Yung mga congressman, yung mga politiko na mga nangongontrata dyan na kumikita. Kasi sindikato na raw sila eh. Halos daw kumikita ng 100 milyon. Araw-araw, aba, matindi kayo. Nako. Yung pangalawang topic ni Senator Coco Pimentel patungkol naman dyan sa health, gawa natin ng panibagong video. Pansamantala, yung huwag nyo kakalimutan mag-subscribe, mag-like at saka mag-share. Maraming salamat po. See you next upload.